These are the pins to connect to the external oscillator circuit. This is the external oscillator circuit. The system clock is required to drive the operation of the microcontroller. The system clock can either be derived from the external oscillator or from the internal oscillator. The selection is done through this signal, which is controlled by the clock select bit in the internal oscillator control register. After reset, the internal oscillator is selected for the system clock. To set up the microcontroller to use the external oscillator, the external oscillator register needs to be configured. Let's take a closer look at the bits inside the external oscillator control register. These 3 bits must be set according to this table provided by the datasheet. Let's assume that we will be using a system frequency of 12 MHz. According to the table, we should set the bits to 111. Let's look at these 3 bits. Let's refer to the table given in the data sheet. We are using crystal oscillator mode. Therefore, this bit should be 110. Let's leave bit 7 to 0. Therefore, this is the binary value to be set in the external oscillator control register. The hex equivalent is 67. After configuring the external oscillator control register, the oscillator circuit is activated. When the circuit is stable, a flag in the register is set to 1. The external oscillator circuit may be activated, but the system clock is still derived from the internal oscillator circuit. To make a switch, set the clock select bit to 1. The clock is now derived from the external oscillator circuit. This is how to write the setup program. The external oscillator is configured. This instruction monitors bit 7 of the external oscillator control register to check if the external oscillator is stable. Finally, set the clock select bit in the internal oscillator control register to 1 to select the external oscillator.